Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Lindsay and today we're going to be talking about A Quiet Place Day 1. This movie is a prequel to A Quiet Place from 2018 and it tells the story of the beginning stages of an invasion in NYC by extraterrestrial-like creatures. We got a pretty good cast here, okay? We got Lupita Nyong'o, who is the lead in this film, and she's in stuff like Us, Black Panther. We got Alex Wolff in this, who was a star in Hereditary, and he's been in so many others. He's been Jumanji, many things. And Stranger Things, anyone? We've got Joseph Quinn in this one, who is famously known for playing Eddie Munson in Stranger Things, which everybody loved. He looks much older in this one, but nonetheless is still great. So, exciting cast, exciting movie. So let's get into it. This movie opens up with Sam, who's the main character, and she's reading a poem to us quite literally about shit. So right off the bat, you know I'm engaged, right? But actually through this poem, we actually find out a lot about her character. She is terminally ill. She's a bit pessimistic. She kind of gives off the overall vibe of just over it. So the nurse takes her and some of the other terminally ill patients into the city to watch a puppet show, and she reluctantly agrees, only on the condition that they go and get pizza afterward at Patsy's, which is her favorite place she used to go to with her family when she was a kid. Same. That's understandable, right? But as they are getting into the bus to head home, we see these meteor-like fireballs from the sky crash into the earth, and the extraterrestrial-like creatures are unleashed on the city. Okay, so as we know, these creatures kill based off of sound, so the whole city of NYC has to stay silent to stay alive. So let me first talk about some things I really liked about this movie. First and foremost, for me, this movie has a great storyline. We have a clear beginning, outlining our lead character and setting up the plotline into a really good tension-building middle. And because the creatures in this movie kill on sound, the suspense obviously throughout the movie is at an all-time high. However, even so, the film does a good job of balancing the suspense and the scares with both the vulnerable and the emotional moments between the characters together, which ultimately leads to a pretty satisfying conclusion, at least in my opinion. I thought that the character development even was pretty good, which I imagine is a bit tricky to do in a movie where there's very limited talking, so that was impressive to me. The movie is also pretty cohesive. I like how they focus on the little things. For instance, when the movie begins, Sam just wants pizza. And then when the chaos starts to ensue, Sam still just wants pizza. Given her illness and what we know about her, her relentless need to get some pizza regardless of the circumstances actually feels pretty realistic, adds a little bit of humor to the film at times, and it kind of puts things into perspective for the friend she's kind of traveling with, the character of Eric, which I think is important for their overall journey together, and it makes the ending understandable for the audience. We do get a lot of good, likable characters in this movie and characters that we want to root for. I will say the character we're rooting for the most, and my favorite in the whole movie, is a cat. Sam's cat named Frodo, which leads me to the next positive. This cat is one of the biggest shining lights of this movie, if not the biggest shining light of the movie. I mean, I think this cat single-handedly brings the movie up a full point for me, for my rating. When I tell you this cat is the most precious, loyal, good cat you've ever seen, believe me. There's this scene where they all go underwater, and then when they come back up, you see Frodo. He's just all wet and puffy and just so chill as hell. I mean, he's just perfect. Some would say perfect. But also, putting this cat in the film and utilizing him the way that they did was pretty smart, I think, on the filmmaker's part, because first of all, the cat adds to the tension, because in a movie where you have to stay silent, an animal can be really unpredictable as a companion throughout the whole movie. In addition, the cat adds an extreme emotional component because he is lovable in every way possible. He's a loyal companion to a terminally ill woman, and it's just a character we're constantly looking out for. This film has us so emotionally invested in this cat, or maybe it's just me. I think it's everybody. Let me put it this way. If something were to happen to this cat, there would be hands on sight. I think everybody would say that. Okay, now I'm going to transition to some things I didn't particularly like about this movie. So if you do know me, you know I do love prequels. And the reason I do is because they're made to answer questions that, one, we were dying to know, or 2 questions we didn't even know to ask. But here's the thing about A Quiet Place Day 1. It answers no questions. Going into this, I expected to learn what exactly the creatures in these movies are, where exactly they came from. Is it a military experiment like The Mist? Are they just simply aliens coming down to Earth to take over the Earth? Why are they so sensitive to and kill based on sound? Are they fully blind? Why do they hate water? Why can't they swim? So many questions that in theory a prequel should answer for me, but definitely not. The only thing we get is the fireball-like meteors that fall to the earth, explode, and then the creatures wreak havoc on the town. We don't get to learn anything about the nature of the event that brought the monsters to Earth. I was more so expecting this movie to focus on the creatures, given it is a prequel, and I was disappointed that we didn't really get to learn anything new about the Quiet Place universe, if you will, which is the purpose of a prequel. At least to me. Something else I didn't necessarily like about this film was how fast the people learned that they had to be quiet to be spared. Because this is a prequel and the event happened in NYC, which I believe is the most populated city in the US, 8.5 million, something like that, 8 million, something like that. It feels unrealistic that the whole entire population were able to learn about the nature of the creatures so damn quick. Like, I think it would have been a good opportunity to see the realization of the characters figuring out how to survive after living in that world and observing the monsters and how they work and what they're sensitive to for a long period of time. But just the fact that they caught on so quick and everybody complied instantly, and even though the whole city was in a complete panic, just felt unrealistic and maybe a missed opportunity for a decent subplot in the movie, I think. Overall, I think A Quiet Place Day 1 is a good movie, but not a good prequel. While it didn't answer any lingering questions that we might have had from any original Quiet Place films, I did think the story was engaging and the characters were overall well written. I mean, any movie that leaves me with thoughts of pizza and how precious cats are is a movie worth watching. Let's get that absolutely clear, okay? So I would recommend this. I would give this one a watch. I think for me, I'd give this a solid 7.8 out of 10. I really did enjoy it. What did you guys think of it? Let me know, okay? And catch me next time. Peace.